stupendous. And it struck me at the time, because nobody ever looked at me before and said, hey, there's our Macbeth. Angels and ministers of grace defend us. You can say that too, by the way, angels and ministers of grace defend us. It's a line from Hamlet, but it wards off all the evil spirits that come around anytime anybody says Macbeth. Perfect. And so I started thinking about all those great Shakespearean roles that were now kind of coming into my range. Now that I was no longer quite the dweeby undergrad theater major type that I'd always thought of myself as, I was rather evolving into a dweeby middle-aged man. And I thought, wouldn't it be great to turn my performance tour into an audition tour so that I go around to all the Shakespeare festivals in the country and audition for plays? And wouldn't it be amazing if no matter what play they were doing, I could do a monologue from that play, so that I could walk in and say, what, you're doing Coriolanus and Pericles and Henry VI, Part 5? Great, let me do those for you. And so I started memorizing, but as I memorized, the idea of the audition tour kind of fell by the wayside, as many of my harebrained schemes often do, and I started thinking of this more as being a workshop, or a parlor game, or a book, or a one-man show. And as I thought about it being a one-man show, I thought, well, what possible order could I put this material into to make some kind of sense out of it? I could put it into chronological order, the order that the events depicted in the plays supposedly happened in time. Or I could put it chronologically in the order in which Shakespeare wrote the plays. Or I could put them in the order within which they happen in their respective plays, the Act 1 monologues through the Act 5 monologues. Or let's say, I could just put it to a vote. People could vote on their favorite Shakespeare plays. I would do the most popular ones, and that might make the Democrats happy. Or I could treat it like a rock concert. People could call out requests for their favorites. I would do the favorites of the people who shout the loudest, and that might make the Republicans happy. But ultimately, I decided, screw it, I'm going to do it entirely at random. Yeah! Representing one of his sonnets. And whatever ball comes out of the chute, that sounds disgusting, but it's really not. That is the monologue that I will perform. Now, since this precludes any possibility of a narrative thread to guide us through the course of this afternoon, I'm going to make a game out of it. And so as you came in, most of you, all of you, were provided with not a bingo card, but an Iago card. And the first person to match up 4 in a row, going across, or up and down, or on a diagonal, who shouts out Iago, is going to win this fabulous Lots O Shakespeare t-shirt! For those of you who don't win one, I will have more available in the lobby after the show. And I have brought my Sharpie. Now, there are 2 exceptions to the rules as I have laid them out so far. One is that I am going to retain veto power over any individual monologue which might come out, just in case I'm getting a lot of shouty, screamy monologues, one right after another. I do still have to be able to speak all the way through to the end of the hour. The other is that I can be bribed. So if there is a monologue you are dying to hear for the cost of, a beer, let's say, I would be happy to perform whatever you would like. And so, without any further much ado,